Okay, because you always want to hit the quarterback. You always want to get him off a spot, make it to where he's not comfortable. But it usually starts with stopping the run first. Try to make a team one-dimensional, and but without question, you want to hit a quarterback. And even if you don't get necessarily a hit on him, a sack or whatever, you want to get some flybys, some touches, just so he has he feels your presence and all that. You don't want him comfortable. The thing about Rivers is he does a great job. He hasn't been sacked a whole lot this year, very rarely, and which is really saying something about their protection and things, because they throw the ball down the field so much. They also their complements the screen off of it. So, but he does a tremendous job. He gets rid of the football. But we'll see. To be effective, you have to hit him and disrupt him, though. I really like this guy because he's a competitive guy. I'm sure he's a coach's kid. I'm sure, it looks like he is. I don't know if he is or not, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right? He's got to be, We faced some pretty tough ones now. We played New Orleans. We played New England twice. We played, go ahead and say it, for Indianapolis for 2 and some whatever. We faced all the good ones, a bunch of good ones. So, but this is definitely a huge challenge for us. There's no doubt. I think this team is 4th in passing, 1st in passing efficiency. Now they're 31st in rushing in football, but they're starting to run the ball more now that they're healthy in the offensive line and things. But again, we know it's a big challenge for us. There is no question about it. And I'm sure they know it's going to be a huge challenge for them also.
Rex, when you're away from here, this facility, how much do you encounter Jets fans, and what are their reaction when they see you?
When they see me, they usually buy me a beer, but no, that's not true when I'm away from here. No, I mean, it's just I sense the excitement, the genuine excitement that's in the area right now. I think they have. They like this football team. They like what we stand for, and but everybody's fired up. Usually, I'm not very recognizable, so they don't notice me. Yeah, really, it's not the way I put this team together. Really, it's the way we did, and I think that's with Mike Tannenbaum, the main guy behind this. But we had a vision from Woody, Mike Tannenbaum, myself that this is the type of team we wanted, and I'm fortunate that, with the offensive line already in place, that was huge. We had to keep Brandon Moore, which we were able to do, and that was big. But adding some of the guys we did, Bart Scott, Jim Leonard, Marcus Douglas, Howard Green, a lot of the guys, Strickland, a lot of the guys that we brought in just added to what I thought was, a good group of guys. Obviously, there's a talented group here. And the thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that they've really meshed well together. Everybody's meshed well. They bought into a brand new system, and right now we're probably playing, as well defensively as we've played all year. So it's great that it's the New York Jet defense, and there's ownership across the board with it, and that's a credit to our assistant coaches. With Mike Pettin leading that defense, and with Dennis Thurman, Bob Sutton, Jeff Weeks, all the guys over there have done a great job of really putting this defense in. And like I say, it's a tough group. But Bart Scott, that was our first guy that we went out to get. I thought he would team with David Harris and give us a great combination as probably the best inside linebacking group in the league. And I think it's worked out that way.
Is there a number that you go into a game saying we have to hold them to this amount? And if so, what is it with this game?
Well, you always go into every game trying to hold them to 0. And that's going to be probably pretty difficult, to say the least, since I think the lowest total is 20 this year that this team has. But just your pride and everything else, you're excited to play, to mark yourself up against the elite offenses in this league. And I know our guys are going to be excited about it. Now, we know it's a huge challenge, but that's why you play sports. I mean, as competitive as our guys are, Phillip Rivers and that bunch, they're just, equally as competitive. So it's going to be great. You know, there's no doubt.
Rex, I read a comment today that called you the trash talkingest coach in the NFL. Do you care or do you worry about your comments being misconstrued or taken out of context?
Nah, not really. You know what? I think when I look at it, I'm going to be true to myself, number one, true to our organization. And the thing is, I don't, unless it's really warranted, I don't take shots at other teams specifically. I just build our guys up. I believe if it's trash talking that I believe in our football team, then yes, I agree with that statement. I'm the biggest trash talker there is. But I don't disrespect anybody else. I just have such a confidence in our football team. And, I don't mean to be disrespectful at all, to opponents or anything else. I don't feel like I am. And I think people that know me, I appreciate this game, as much or, as really anybody in this league. I know the struggles, every team and everything else, but it's, to me, I'm just taking my team in and I expect to win. And I think that's where sometimes maybe people think that it's, that I'm trash talking. I really don't think that's true.
How do you think that approach of speaking your mind, how do you think that's helped your team this year, and have there been times where maybe it's hurt your team?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I'm just going to be, when I took this job, I'm going to be the same person I've always been. And just somebody who's got a great belief. I believe in myself. I believe in this organization from top to bottom, and I've said that from day one. Right when I came here, I said it. So I'm not going to apologize for anything that I say. I don't think I need to. And if a team wants to use it as motivation that I really believe in our football team, then that's fine.
Rex, do you think there's anything magical going on with this football team? From 4-6 to the final 8? I mean, I'm just asking if you think
that sounds pretty good. There was some things going on with our football team when I thought we were the unluckiest team in the league. Then that kind of switched a little bit as we went on. But, I felt very fortunate to get an opportunity to play in the playoffs. But we earned our right. And this football team, I believe, is really what we said it was going to be. A team that's going to be an all-weather offense and one of the premier defenses in the league. And I think that's where we're at. You realize you grow up and you realize how important it is to be yourself. That I've been around the game a long time, and I've seen the successful coaches, and I've seen guys that have failed. And I think sometimes the guys that have failed have been guys that, here's how you coach out of a manual or something. If they're themselves, whether your style is, over the top, so to speak, or your style is a yeller, or yours is a soft-spoken teacher, whatever it is, I think you have to be true to yourself. And, Bud Grant, I thought was a great example. I mean, he was different, a lot different than my dad. Dick, who was similar to my dad and all that kind of stuff. He had a great belief in himself, and, was a tough-ass guy, and he is a tough-ass guy. And that's the way his team was. So I think that was, that was great. And I think the players responded to that. So I think that's an advantage you have when you grow up as a coach's kid. Really paid attention to you, never watched the tape. But I think anybody that watches the film realizes this team could have easily won 11, 12 games. We had some, in fact we didn't, that, it is what it is, but we found kind of ways to lose, but we were always close. Nobody blew us out. I think statistically, you can look at it and say, well, they must be doing something right. I think 11 or 12 teams never scored more than one offensive touchdown against us. I think it's a pretty good indication we're playing pretty good defense. And then the fact that we're able to run the football effectively week in and week out tells you, how we're built. And really, you look at our quarterback, we have efficiency in the passing game. So I don't think anybody wants to play us, and I truly believe that.